Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our third edition of being live on Facebook. This is Mike from the Student Engagement Team at Lansing Community College. And I'm here tonight with a special guest joining us shortly to primarily focus on LCC's online tutoring resources that are available for students this semester while we are in remote operations. The first thing I want to do is thank everyone for tuning in. We've had some great feedback on the first couple sessions, and we are getting ready to roll out some new guests and really try to bring a lot of great content to these. So again, we thank you all for tuning in, and we appreciate your support. To recap, the first session was an overview of the getting started process at LCC and what students can do to get started, apply, look at placement levels, all the way up to getting registered for classes. So we are definitely not too late for students to apply and still be able to take courses with us in the fall semester. We encourage you to reach out if you have questions, if you have concerns. Please let us know how we can help. That's what we're here for. Last week, my colleague Blake was live with Jim from our financial aid office, who's a financial aid officer, and they had a great dialogue about paying for college and what the costs are and what kind of aid is applicable and how students get scholarships and how financial aid is awarded and how a student can benefit from attending a community college early on in their education and being able to really maximize their financial aid impact over the cost of their college career. So that was a really great discussion on cost. Tonight we have a very special guest from the LCC Learning Commons, which is home to our tutoring center, who will be joining us here in about the next 5 minutes or so. And we're going to have a great discussion about what LCC can provide to students in this remote time to still be able to provide tutoring services and things of that nature. So the first thing I want to do is kind of just give a little bit of an instruction on what LCC is looking like for the fall semester. Again, it's been mentioned several times on various outlets, but just to give a brief overview of what type of courses are going to be offered and how they're going to be offered is a good start to what tonight's discussion will entail when we get into tutoring resources and services available for students. So I'm going to share my screen here and hopefully we'll see lcc.edu here just a second. There we go. So my screen should be up here and you should see that I'm here at lcc.edu. As we scroll down here, this forward to fall area is a great resource for students, employees, visitors, anyone interested in learning what LCC is doing during this time and how we are going about this remote learning operations. So when I click read more here, you're going to see a lot of information about health screenings and things that are happening for those people who are on campus right now. We are required to wear the face masks, what physical and social distancing looks like on campus, and you can read through all of that. What I'm looking at first here is this forward to fall 2020, this return to campus for students. So right here, you should see I'm highlighting these 5 course formats. All of our fall 2020 courses are going to fit into one of these 5 categories. And each one is a little bit different. So I wanted to introduce each one as we're going to be talking about them as we move forward. So when you go out and register for courses in Banner and you see something that's coded as an ON class, that is a traditional online course. It's a fully online course. There is nothing you're responding to in real time. It is a course with all content available online always. Traditional online course. We're also introducing an online real-time class that's categorized as ORT. And this is an online course as well that has a partially scheduled lecture. So what this means is you're going to have some regularly scheduled online meeting days and or times along with some unscheduled stuff. So an example of that might be, let's say you take Chemistry 151 online, for example. You may have a certain time and day of the week that you need to be online and be in perhaps a group meeting or an instructor discussion, as well as unscheduled activities, discussion board postings, things of that nature that you need to do on your own time that can be scheduled around the rest of your activities. An ORT full scheduled lecture is an online real-time course where all instruction is delivered online during designated meeting days and times. What that means is if you are someone who needs to schedule around work, life, personal life, other work, other school, children's schools, children's activities, things like that. These are all online classes that have designated days and times here in the full scheduled lecture, where you are able to go out and create a schedule. Perhaps you want to have all Monday, Wednesday courses during a certain time, or Tuesday, Thursday, and you are able to set that schedule with those specific times for each day and every other day, or however the courses fall. The majority of our classes in the fall are going to fall into these three. Some courses are going to have online hybrid and face-to-face options. Very few, but those online hybrids here, for example, is a class that has some regularly scheduled classroom instruction along with the online component and the online activities. These would be courses that would require a lab, or perhaps one of our technical career programs at West Campus that require you to be in person on a work site in the laboratory. Those are how those online hybrids work. And then the traditional final category, the face-to-face courses, is what you would primarily see at a college. You show up, you go to class on a certain day, a certain time. You visit us on our lovely downtown campus, our West Campus, our East Campus, our Howell campus. Those would be where those in-person, on-campus instructions would take place. And again, the majority, almost all of our coursework is going to fall into one of these three areas up top here. So that gives a good overview of what our fall 2020 course offerings are going to look like. Registration is happening now. Please, if you have any questions, let me know how I can help. You can make comments on this Facebook post, and a couple of my colleagues are out able to answer those with you now, or I'll take you to the page at the end here that will show you how you can email us, how you can call us, see what we can do to help you get started throughout this process. I'm going to go back to LCC's homepage and stop the screen share here, so you should be seeing me again. I am going to invite our guest, Mr. Kel Arlinghouse from LCC's Learning Commons, and send him an invite here. And when he pops in on here, we will have a nice conversation about remote learning resources for students. So let me just make sure I'm doing this correctly here. Yep, here we go. He should be joining us on screen here any second. Yep, there we go. Hi there.
Hey, Mike. Hear me okay?
Yep. Can you hear me okay? How you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good, good. So ladies and gentlemen, anyone out there watching us on Facebook currently, I have the pleasure of introducing Kel Arlinghouse, who is a professional tutor, lead professional tutor in the Learning Commons at Lansing Community College. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what that means exactly and what your role is on campus with students now in this remote operations that we're all in?
Of course. Thanks for having me, Mike. I appreciate the opportunity to come in, and thanks everybody for joining me this evening to spend some time chatting about tutoring services and some of the avenues of academic support that's available to you through LCC. The Learning Commons is the central hub for tutoring support on LCC's campus. And this is a service that's available for free to all LCC students. We're currently operating entirely online through the WebEx platform, and that allows us to offer tutoring and help with your classes in kind of a live setting. We pride ourselves on that personal interaction between the tutor and the student, so you guys can get personalized help instead of just typing questions into a chat room, right? We like the opportunity to get to know you, to learn your name, for you to get to know us, and for us to kind of share and grow in the learning experience together. And so I'm just going to take a few minutes before I open it up to you guys for questions to kind of describe our operational hours, as well as just a few of the services that we have available. Okay. So for fall 2020, like I said, we're going to be entirely online. And our hours are as follows. So Monday to Thursday, we're available from 8 in the morning until 9 in the evening. Fridays, we're available from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. And then Saturday, we're available from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. And so during those times, we have several of our tutors staffed and eagerly waiting to work with you if you happen to schedule an appointment, attend a session, etc. Okay, and so our main service, of course, is tutoring, and for the most part, that takes a appointment, one-on-one kind of private session, maybe small group, and you're going to meet using the WebEx platform, just kind of like what we're doing right now. And it's a really great opportunity to come ask questions that you might be struggling with, maybe get some clarifications on a particular subject that you might not just be clicking, get some help on an assignment, maybe some ideas for a paper, or even just take some time to discuss things like study skills and what you could do to improve your habits for being a good student. Okay. We also have embedded learning assistants. And so learning assistants are student peer tutors. They've taken the particular class that you're enrolled in, that they're assisting with. They've done, they performed well. And so now they are a part of that class to help assist the professor. They're going to attend classes in the online real-time format with you guys. So they'll be there during lectures to assist in things like group discussion, right? Or breakout small group activities. Our learning assistants also usually have drop-in hours, sessions where you guys can just connect with them online through the WebEx platform at your convenience. It's a really great way to just meet with somebody personally, someone who has experience in that class, that knows the professor, and can really kind of give you those kind of tips and specific advice to the course you're taking. Most of our learning assistants come very highly recommended by the faculty member they're working with. And it's a really good opportunity for you guys to learn from one of your peers.
Great, great.
We also have writing assistants. And so if you happen to be taking a writing class, maybe a humanities course, and you just need some feedback on a paper, we have tutors and writing assistants who are going to give you both written and verbal feedback, helping with things like grammar mechanics, maybe giving some brainstorming or drafting ideas, or even offering you some insight into research or citations. And so essentially what our writing tutors are going to do is really just help you hammer it in and zone in on that paper and help you get a really good product to turn in, as well as helping you develop your voice and grow as a writer as a whole. And then finally, specific call out to our math tutors, we have math prep parties. And so these are organized exam study sessions for both lower and upper level math courses. They're facilitated by one of our professional tutors. And it's a great opportunity to come in and connect with your classmates, get some live instruction and some help tailored specifically to the exam that's coming up in your class. And so this semester, those prep parties, those exam sessions are going to be offered both in real time, right? So you can come join, talk live with your peers and one of our tutors. And we also will have the option to watch those recorded, available usually through our D2L site. So if you happen to miss something, you can get caught up there.
Cool.
And
Thank
so any of that information, our general information, as well as our contact information, is available through our website. So Mike, would you mind sharing that link in the chat with everybody?
Absolutely. What I'll do is I'll just share my screen again and I'll show the website. And if there's anything on the website you want to go to, just navigate me through it. So I'll go back out here to lcc.edu. And the easiest way to find it is click on current students and just scroll down a little bit. This is a wonderful mural in the Gannon Highway right outside where my office is that I miss very much going to each day. And if you come down to campus resources here, what we're focusing on primarily tonight is right here, the Learning Commons. You can see out here, we have a ton of different resources and support for students in a variety of different areas. And we'll hopefully have one of these sessions where we're able to talk more in depth about almost each one of these. But here I'm going to click on the Learning Commons website. And I'll let you kind of guide it and I'll just click along if there's anything you want me to see.
Yeah, the only thing I'd just like to point out real quick, we have all of our contact information.
I'm sorry, can you hear me? I think I might have lost you there for a minute.
Mike, you hear me okay?
I can now. Can you hear me?
Yep, I must have just cut out there for a second. Sorry about that.
Nope, that's all right.
I just want to
on the contact form.
Yeah, I just want to real quick point out to you guys this link for requesting. So if you go to our website, you can always sign up and get in contact with some of us by clicking that link right there that says tutoring appointment request. Yep, and it's just a simple form where you give your information, your availability, the class you're taking, and that's the easiest way to get connected with one of us. Okay?
Cool. And it looks like you have all
I guess open it up to questions.
Sure. Let me bounce out of here for a second and I should be back on the screen now. Okay, so we do have a couple questions that came in beforehand. And I'll just kind of fire away with those if you're all right with it.
Great.
Let me just pull this up here. One good question that came in is, what is the recommended best time for a student to get a tutor? And I think what they're referring to here is point in the semester, not time of day.
Oh, definitely. Great question. So my advice, day one, don't wait till you have that exam coming up around the third or fourth week of the semester. If you think you're going to struggle with a class or you think you need help, ask for help on the first day or in the first week of class. Get connected with specific questions for a particular. It's just a great way to maybe talk about study skills or maybe talk about the things that you should be doing in that class to get you prepared for the assignments and for that test going up. So I say definitely sooner the better. As the semester tends to go on, we get busier and busier and busier. So Okay.
I think I lost you there for a minute, but it sounded like you gave an answer, so I'll go with that and hope it turned out on the video.
Yeah, let me double check myself here. I didn't have any problems all day.
Okay, no, it happens to all of us. The next question that kind of follows up on when is the best time to get a tutor is there a limit to how much tutoring I can receive in a specific course? I think we might have lost you again. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Maybe if
Yep.
you,
Haven't had any problems all day, but it's of course when I have something important.
that's okay. Did you hear my follow-up question or did you miss that?
I did not. So
Okay,
hopefully
okay,
connection's coming in a little bit better. I made some
okay.
changes.
Okay, so the follow-up question was, is there a limit to how much tutoring I can receive for a specific course?
No, of course not. So, like I said earlier, this is a service that's available to you as an LCC student. So, as long as it's within our operational hours, we don't limit how much tutoring you can receive. Now, a session itself that you might only request an appointment or how many times we work with you. Okay, so like I said, as long as it's within those operational hours, you guys can request and get help as much or as little as you need.
Awesome, great. What about group tutoring sessions? What if me and my next door neighbor and my high school teammate are all taking the same course and we're all in this together and we all have the same question and we all want to sit down with you or with someone else and kind of have a group session? Is that an option?
Oh, definitely. I highly encourage the students that I work with to let their friends know. And if they want to work together, we can always schedule a small group session. What I would recommend is when you do schedule with us, either online or by filling out that you want a few people to attend, and we would be more than happy to facilitate that. This semester and previous semesters, I've even offered online large group tutoring sessions tailored to a specific course where I've done some exam review. I think I've had the most students I've ever had upwards of 16 or 17 at a time. And so we're not going to say no to any requests like that, right? You can get private tutoring if that's something you would prefer. If you want it to be a little bit more personalized, or if you guys do want to work together as a group, I and the rest of our tutors would be more than happy to help you facilitate that.
Cool. Awesome. I'm just kind of scrolling through a few here. What are the question here is, can I get tutoring from my iPad? So I guess that will just lead me to ask, other than being able to connect to something like WebEx, Zoom, Skype, any kind of messaging service like that, are there any requirements for students technology-wise to be able to access these services?
Would you mind?
Kel, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but we have you frozen again. So I don't know if we need to have you maybe bounce out and then try to bounce back in and see if that does anything to help us out here.
Hey, Mike, hear me?
Now I can, yeah, yeah.
Make a quick change.
Okay,
Just see if I can stop this from happening. So would you guys
Yep.
just give me 1 minute?
Yep. No problem.
Sorry
Um,
about all this.
No, that's okay. In the meantime, I'm just going to point out to anyone that's out there, you may see displayed under our photos here, Cal has the learning-commons at star.lcc.edu email address posted. That is the best email contact for the Learning Commons if you have specific questions about any of the information that we're talking about tonight, or perhaps something that you want to see that maybe didn't get mentioned tonight. Or you just want to follow up on how do I make that appointment? How do I figure out what services are available for my class? Anything like that related. You can also email our department. I'll change my name here to the LCC engagement team email address should be now appearing under my name. So you can email our department, myself, my 3 colleagues, Amanda, Blake, and Cassie, monitor and are able to answer any questions that come in from students, prospective students. We get emails from high schools, from counselors, all kinds of people. Anyone interested about the Get Started process, we can definitely help there. So it looks like we have you back. So
Yep, just
there
made
you
a quick
are.
location change.
Okay, yep, no problem. Understood. So the question we were on was about the technology, which was very fitting for the moment we went through there. So the question was, can I receive tutoring on my iPad? Which led me to kind of follow up with what are the technology requirements for students to access these services?
Oh, of course, great question. So like I said earlier, we're primarily tutoring through the WebEx application, which is similar to Skype, similar to Zoom, which is available to download on your phones through the App Store. So I've had plenty of students connect with me holding up their iPhone. It has all of the same tools and capabilities that we can use for tutoring. So you get the same experience without having to have a computer or a laptop. And what I found that's really great. So I guess very relevant, right? Say a situation like this happens where you happen to be experiencing some connection issues, or maybe you live somewhere where internet quality isn't getting as easy, right? There also is the ability to call in through the WebEx application. So I've worked with students before that I have my session open, I give them a number to call, and they connect up with me and can talk with me over the telephone instead of having to log onto their computer or even using up data on their phone, which I think is a really great opportunity to serve you guys in other capacities. So a minimum of a phone. Of course, most of our tutors are also available by email. If you maybe want to ask a question or want to talk to someone not in real time, if you connect with one of our tutors, they will provide you with that information. You can contact them during their hours.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. I have one last question for you.
Okay.
And this is a question that we often get. We have students ask us stuff like this at orientation all the time.
Yeah.
And my favorite response is, it depends. And it's going to vary. You know, what I tell you might be different than I tell the next student, because we want to get to know your situation a little bit more before we give you a blanket response. But it's, what's the best advice you can give me to be successful in my classes?
Oh, of course. And so I guess like the one thing I could boil it down to is get help early and get help often. One of the traits that I admire most in a student and in a learner is for the ability to admit that you need help and want to seek that out. That's something that I find very valuable and something that's going to help you as a person grow. I do want to say that all of you already have all of the skills necessary to be successful in college, right? It's my job and it's the job of our tutors and our staff in the Learning Commons really to help guide you. anyone can be an answering machine, right? Anyone can type a question into Google and get a fairly good response that's going to help you answer and figure out your homework. Really, what we're here to do is we're here to help you develop as students, to guide you and really access those skills that you've had all along, so that not only do you succeed in the class you have this semester, but you're going to succeed in your classes next semester, and you're going to succeed in your career once you get through LCC. That's really what we're here for, is to offer that personal connection and to help you guys grow as learners during your time at LCC.
Great. Yeah, I always, myself and my colleagues, and we have the success team involved in orientation a lot. And we always tell people, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's why I'm here. That's why the person next to me is here. We're all here because we care about what these students are going through, and we want to be a part of that journey for them.
Exactly.
So
it's great that LCC has such a wide avenue of support, both academically and outside of classes. That's really there just to help you guys navigate your way through the college experience.
Yes, absolutely. I really appreciate you joining us tonight. You know, we couldn't have more information out there related to these online services that are available. Again, if you have questions, that email address, I'm going to go back to the website and show a little bit more.
Yeah, gladly.
But thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. I might stick around just for a minute, give a quick rundown on, again, what you guys need to do to access us.
Sure.
If you want to show that website one more time.
Yep, absolutely. Let me go back to share my screen here, and I believe it might still be up. So just a second. Yep, so I'm on, I'll just go back to lcc.edu. So someone could see what our website looks like. And here you're just going to go to that current students link at the top. Again, you'll see all these wonderful services available. And everything, for the most part, we've talked about tonight is listed here on the Learning Commons. So now we're back on the Learning Commons landing page. And again, if you have questions specifically about tutoring, we have a phone number listed here, and we also have this platform for you to fill out an email here, or email from your Gmail, your Yahoo Mail, your LCC email, which you should check every single day if you're a student, multiple times, and view all this great contact information for the Learning Commons.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to point out. So thanks, Mike.
We also have a link here for the LCC help desk. As you can see, we had our own little bout with technology a little bit this evening. If you are out there and you are trying to do something on an LCC website, or you forget your login, you forget a password, you need help with that, you can contact the help desk. You can find their link here, or go to lcc.edu/helpdesk, or you can call them at 517-483-5221, and they are happy to assist you with those technology issues and make sure, you know, maybe you have an instructor or you have a tutor that's telling you to go out and look for something in D2L, and you don't see D2L, or you log into D2L and you don't see what they're looking for, or any kind of those technology issues. That's what the help desk is here for, to help you get set up and kind of get you on your way. All of these great options we talked about on the left here, feel free to click through this. Any questions you want to direct directly to the Learning Commons, I know they're happy to help. But it's really a lot of great resource available to students, and they're really doing a great job in these definite trying times that we have. Believe me, their building is awesome. Their room is really great on campus. They have some cool stuff. It's a big open air environment where there's always students who never really look like they're in there having a bad time. Students have a good time in there. There's some beautiful fish and a couple of really cool fish tanks. So it's not a dreary corner office where you go and sit and you're forced to learn. It's a really fun, vibrant environment where a lot of students really get a lot of great resources. So we're definitely glad that you were able to join us tonight and give us
Yeah,
a
of
lot of
course.
great information on what students can do.
Great. I appreciate you having me, Mike. And for any of you, I really do look forward to potentially working with you in the future. So feel free to always contact us, and we're here to help.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you have a good evening.
Thanks, you too. Okay, so that about wraps up tonight's session. We had a great discussion on online remote learning and those resources that are available to our students. Next week is a big one. Next week, we have Lansing Community College's new president, Dr. Steve Robinson, is going to join us. We'll probably talk about the transition back to the Lansing area. We'll talk about, obviously, all the great LCC resources and things. And we may, who knows, we may ask him some questions more about him as a person, not so much him as our college's highest leader and new president. So please make sure you're looking forward to joining us next week. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, myself, Amanda, Blake, Cassie. We are all here to help. We're happy to hook you up with the resources that are needed. Whether you hear us mention something or you maybe see something online, we are kind of your starting point, and we are able to transition you into working with a success coach, working with a tutor, working with an access specialist, all of our great student services that are available to you throughout your time as an LCC student at zero cost to you. So please know that we're here for you. We have a variety of resources available, and we are all here and we're eager to help. We would love to see you on campus. Believe me, there's some of us who would just love to get out of the house and go walk through our beautiful Gannon building, our Arts and Sciences building, take a walk down Washington Square. But we are fully operational in this remote environment, and we are doing everything we can do on campus through this online world. So please let us know what we can do for you, how we can help you get started, but most of all, how we can make sure you stay successful throughout your time here at LCC. So until next time, goodbye.